Hi everybody, it's Thursday. I did live stream on Wednesday, but having issues with the live stream. Like it disappeared. So I will be refilming the books of artifacts that I read in that either today or tomorrow, and or this weekend because I've got a live streaming with Shadow tomorrow. Um, 12ish on his channel. Okay, so I got to go over there, and I'll be over there to about 1ish, ish. Uh, I want to cover some of the other things we talked about real quick. So maybe I'll do like little multiple videos. But anyway, one of the things that came up was experience points for advanced D&D. I'm assuming they were thinking 1E when I answered it. I know, don't assume things, but usually that's what people mean unless they throw a number up. And using treasure for the experience instead of like killing monsters. And I'm all for that. There's nothing wrong with that. What I pointed out was people, and your players are people, are going to do very human things based on how they're rewarded. So if you reward them for killing monsters, they're going to be murder hobos. Absolutely. They're going to kill anything they can. There's chipmunk. Do I get an experience point for that? Let's kill it, right? So I mean, that's what's going to happen. This is like in the video games, okay? So my philosophy, and I've done like only the monsters, only the treasure. I think I moved into a realm where I was doing like both, which people like both, but I was adjusting things. So, and I've done it other ways as well. So I'm going to go over that and think about what you're encouraging in your campaign or your adventure or your session. It could be a one shot. It could be, you're going to 6 weeks, 6 weekends, every Saturday you guys are getting together. Think about how you're doing that. So here's some things to think about. First off, treasure is pretty simple. That's what makes it wonderful. It says right there how much the thing is worth, experience point wise, and you know how much the copper pieces are worth, the silver, the gold. If you do more whoopty stuff, the more whoopty coins, you know what it's worth. And then when the player's dividing the booty, they know what experience points they're getting. It's pretty straightforward. So from a bookkeeping point of view, it's fabulous. The problem with monsters is some of them can give you a lot of experience points really quickly, if of course the play party survives. And they can level up faster than you want. Same thing can happen with treasure. So you can instead do goal orientated experience points. Like it doesn't matter how many monsters they kill. It doesn't matter how many other treasure they get. That's great. The benefit of that treasure is they can they can stay in business. They can buy more supplies. They can get new armor, etc. Get whatever, have a nice night at the end. So the money, the treasure already comes with those kind of benefits to them. The other way to think about it is, did they achieve their goals? Did other things happen that, they should get experience points for that. Experience points for awesome role playing, experience points for, saving the princess. Was that the point of the adventure? Was to save the princess? And then after they do that thing, they level up. Or they have to do several things before they can level up. That's more your milestone thinking, goal orientated. But why I'm saying that is all behavior, includes your players with their player characters, is goal orientated. All of it. Even if the behavior is terrible and it no longer serves the purpose it was meant to. And it no longer helps the human being. Trust me on this. I deal with behavioral problems all day long. Adults, children, and you sit there and you're dealing with, it's worse with the adults, and you're sitting there going, man, this adult by the age of 5 has learned that if they sit there and they say the same thing over and 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 over, they're going to get their way. And you have to be the adult going, no, to a 50-year-old. No, 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 no. And they've been allowed to get that reinforced through their whole childhood into their early adulthood, and they've never had to adjust their coping skill, okay, to get what they want, okay? And they've never had to learn the word no sometimes means no, it's not happening, never happening, never, no. Okay, so they have meltdowns. They have grown-up tantrums. Players are human. So the sooner you decide how you're going to handle experience and how you're going to handle people moving up in levels and what that's going to look like, for something like a game like D&D, the better off you are, because you're training them. You're training them for your table, okay? This is why some people are so inflexible. I'm never going to play that other version of D&D. It just sucks. Well, maybe there are things wrong with it, but I guarantee you there's something wrong with every edition of D&D. Every edition. Even the editions I like. Every edition has something wrong, and every edition has something good. But you have to take what you're doing and make it your own. Experience is the same way, and it doesn't matter either. Any game that gives out experience. Ardoon does it. Most games do, because when you get to a certain point, then you get to that gives you something, opens up a feat, allows you to have more spells, whatever the perk is for moving up the ladder, building that experience bank. All right. So think about it. In 5e, you can kill 3 orcs when you're first level, and then boom, you are second level. How fast do you want people to move up that ladder? How powerful are they going to get? Do you want them to go that fast? These are all things you have to think about. And then you have to adjust how you're giving out experience points. So there's nothing wrong with doing treasure for advanced D&D. Do it. There's nothing wrong with doing monsters. That's all you want to do. Do it. There's nothing wrong with mixing them and adjusting what you're giving out. Now, players. Players who do stuff should get experience points. Players who don't do stuff should not get experience points. If they didn't help get the treasure, they shouldn't get experience points for getting the treasure. If they didn't help kill the monster, and that's what you're doing, they shouldn't get experience points for helping kill the monster. You can create situations where the fighters are going to get more experience points for killing something or protecting somebody, let's say. And everybody else is going to get less because that's not their specialty. But the folks who do the healing, they're going to get points because they have to stay back. They're going to get points for being medics. They're going to get points for bravely running over to Bob the Third, who is unconscious, and trying to save his life and pull him out of that situation, and the dragon's getting ready to kill them both. That's how you need to start thinking about this. What did they all do? How did they contribute to dealing with the dragon, or whatever it is they're doing, and how to break up those points. Another thing you can do is most valued player. That's right. Who was the MVP of that session? They get a perk, something. Whether you give them extra experience points or you do something totally different, you give them something that they can use in the future. But you don't decide it. The whole group of players decide it. They vote who they think really, saved everyone's keisters that time around. Did something spectacular. Role played it perfect. Whatever. That is a cool idea. It helps encourage group play versus player. And it helps get people more active. You can make it so that, when the magic user successfully identifies something, what it is, the magical item, that's when they get, make a note. Okay, they're going to get experience points for that. So you can decide how you're going to do this. But absolutely, if you just want to do just treasure, I've done it. It's great. But think about the effect on the game. I think just handing out experience points for killing monsters really encourages a lot of bad behavior, and it does not encourage role play. It encourages combat, which is fun. I like a good combat. It's great, as long as it's fast. But it does not encourage, well, maybe we should try to talk to those people over there, those orcs. Maybe we should help them. They're stuck in a trap. Well, they might, it does not encourage the group coming up with an idea, the group going down there and enacting that idea that is not deadly. It doesn't encourage, we shouldn't fight those guys because we're weak and let's figure out a way to sneak around. It's like, no, we need to gain experience points. Let's go fight them. Oh man, we all died. So think about what you're encouraging with your rewards. Experience points are a reward. Treasure is a reward. Perks are a reward. By perks, I mean patrons. Ballads getting written about people. Then they do a few sessions, and the next time they come back to town, the third time they come back to town, somebody's singing a song about them. Not everything you do needs to hand out experience points per se, but it can build in other ways so that they get other perks. Like, hey, you saved the farmer's daughter, and the town really likes the farmer's daughter, and you show up at the tavern the next time, y'all get a free meal. And the player characters are broke. You see how that works? So consequences can be good. They don't have to be bad. Referrals can be good. Citations can be good, okay? Things don't all have to be negatives when you talk about consequences. Because that's what we're doing when we're moving people up. And like I said, you can just do things where you just decide, well, if they achieve these 20 things, they go up a level. You don't even have to do the accounting. There are so many different ways to deal with bringing up people up levels. And sometimes groups aren't motivated by experience either. That came up in the feed. Some people are motivated by doing deeds. Well, then you're going to need to give them things to do that they're like, yes, I am a hero, more than, yes, I found some more gold. Like, they're not into that. Like, maybe they already got enough gold. There is a point where if you get high enough up in experience, I know I had a character like that. You're like, you just like, this isn't fun. What you're doing isn't fun. And then it's like, well, why isn't it fun? Because treasure and killing monsters isn't cutting it anymore. There needs to be more to the stories. I learned that as a kid. So I'm telling you as an adult, that's a truth. So think about those things. But yes, you can totally use treasure. It's a really easy, quick way to get a game rolling and moving. And I do believe when I was doing 5e, I was concerned about murder hobo. So, like a half the amount of experience points people could get for killing things. And then they were more likely to get more for getting treasure. That's how I did it. Um, uh, I started 1Eing up 5e a lot, simply because I didn't like how it was balanced. But that was me, not you. So you would decide how you want to do it, whichever version of D&D you're playing or D&D like game. But think about what you want to encourage the players to do. What are you rewarding? What habits are you helping create in that play group? Because at the end of the day, you're the one kind of in control of the three-ring circus that is the role-playing game. And, you know, as the master of the ceremonies, what do you want happening under your big top? They're your flying monkeys, guys. So figure out you know what you want happening. You know, otherwise you might not get the results you want out of the players, and you might get super frustrated. They killed everybody in Hamlet. Totally happened in a game I was in. A whole village of Hamlet wiped out. That should not have happened. It did. So think about what you're doing. The DM did not think about what they were creating in the moment and how it would spin horribly out of control and led to the massacre of the village of Hamlet in a game. So you don't want to be in that spot, and the players, even though they had ended up killing everybody, they weren't necessarily cool that they had to kill everybody. Not everybody in the play group was good with that. I know, I was one of the players. So when it was my turn to DM, there was consequences for that, and we went horribly dark for a while. And because it didn't make any sense to me that a whole village could be massacred and there wouldn't be any consequences. And the other DM was like, oh, well, you know, no. So it's the same play group and the same characters. It's just my character at that moment in time is an NPC or getting played by another player who knows how to do two characters and knows what my character is supposed to be like. That's how we dealt with it. I think that's how I dealt with it. Somebody else played my character. And then there was consequences. So I want you guys to think about that. What do you want the players to do, be most likely to do every session? You know, because look, being a tomb robber is great, but wiping out anything that's living for miles around, not so great. So figure out how to balance those things. You know, figure out what you want your carrots to really be, and then what, you know, when they achieve the carrot, what, you know, make sure they get rewarded, so that they're going in the direction you want. That'll do wonders for you. But treasure's cool. Treasure's cool. Because if nothing else, they're gonna go down into that dungeon or that cave system, or go check out those ruins over there, or be like, I heard, the Dread pirate Robert buried his treasure on Skull Island, and they're gonna go to Skull Island now. So that's definitely a way to do it. But at some point, you may have to change what they are looking for, only if they get bored with treasure hunting. That's the main deal there. So have fun, whatever you do, have fun with it. Okay, so that's the experience point question, and kind of like what we all discussed about. All right, bye, but like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, all that good stuff. Granny will eventually fix her technological issues on her end here, and live stream will not be me yelling and screaming at the computer where to go. Cell phone and iPad and stuff. So we're moving on to the next subject. So next video.